Shalom Yasharallah. All praises to the Most High for being alive today to be able to present to you another letter and another lesson, episode 2 of the Hebrew language here in the Lion's Den. I want to thank Ray Daniel for allowing me to come on his show and to teach a little bit about the Hebrew and about the ancient way, the ancient tongue, Lashawan Kwadash. And we're not going to be long because it doesn't take long to tell you about one letter. And that's what we're going to do, one at a time, explain it. And you probably heard it before, but the repetition will make you remember these letters and their shapes and their meaning. And it'll give you, you'll be able to start putting words together based on the sound. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we got the Aleph. That's the letter. That's the first letter of the Aleph Bayah, or the Aleph Beit, they call it in Yiddish. The Aleph is the first letter. In Hebrew, in ancient Hebrew, it's called Aleph. But in Yiddish or Israeli, it's called Aleph. Because of that E right there, that changes everything. It was interpolated to sound that way. So the interpolation and using the nikud and these dots and things that they put in, the nikudat, metres lectionis, that's what they're talking. What they call it. They interpolated and changed the sound and the look of the letters. We was not even talking that way. They wouldn't even know what you was talking about if you went back in that time and started to say these things that we're saying today. But Allah equals 1. It's equal to 1 or 1,000. It's not silent in ancient Hebrew. Now Aleph equals 1 and 1,000, but it's silent in the modern Hebrew or biblical Hebrew, they call it. And here's the shape of the Aleph. And there's the shape. And this is what the Aleph looks like. Remember this shape right here. It's easy to make. Stands for cattle, actually. Ox, strength, leader, gentle, tame. What is first? Teach. Stands for Yah. Psalm 119 usually bears the Aleph or the Aleph. And these are the verses that goes with it. Psalm 119:1 says, "Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of Yah." What does blessed mean? It means happy. You're pretty happy if you walk in the law of Yah. Immensely happy because the Most High has blessed you. And that means you're not cursed if you're walking in the way of Yah. It says, blessed are those, in verse 2 says, blessed are those who keep his testimony, who seek him with the whole heart. What does that mean? You're going to be happy again because you keep his testimonies. You hear the things that he says. You hear the things that his prophet says. And you listen to when you read the word, you believe it. And you seek him with your whole heart. You're not half-stepping. You want to know the truth. Therefore, you will find the truth. He says, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open unto you. Hallelujah. Verse 3 says they also do no iniquity. What does that mean? That means you're not getting up in the morning planning your sin, and you do it continuously. Like a thief gets up in the morning, that's his plan. I'm going to steal today. I'm going to break in that car, and steal this out of that house, because that's how I make my living. They walk in his ways. Instead of doing that, you walk in the Most High's ways. You don't want to be out here doing iniquity. You won't be happy, especially when they catch you and lock you up for doing the things that you're doing. Verse 4 of Psalm 119 says, you have commanded us to keep your precepts diligently. Verse 5 says, oh, that my way were directed to keep your statutes. All this is up under alap. So then I would not be ashamed when I investigate all your commandments. What does investigate mean? It means get in there and study them and know what they mean and do them. When you investigate, you go and find the truth about something. Like we're doing this language right here. Like we're doing trying to restore the correct language. We're investigating the alap bayat, because we know that they stole everything from us. What make you think they was going to preserve the language and for us to get? They did not preserve the language. They didn't preserve our heritage. So we actually believe that we can learn what they call Hebrew from them. That's not a preservation of our language at all. It's a fixed up version of it. Verse 7, I will praise you with uprightness of heart when I learn your righteous judgments. How would you learn his righteous judgments? By investigating all his commandments. See, this is big when it comes to alap. I will keep your statutes. Oh, do not forsake me utterly. And see, if we keep his statutes, we can pray to him and ask him not to forsake us. He won't. But we have to keep his statutes and do it with a pure heart. An uprightness of heart. Like verse 7 said, uprightness of heart. An uprightness of heart. How would you have a pure heart? That means you deal honestly with men. You don't think ill and be acting like something else in people's face. You're pure. You are what you are when nobody's watching. You still do the right thing when no one's watching. When you're at home by yourself, you still are righteous because Most High is watching you. That's when you have real fear for the Most High. When you live right when no one's watching. We all should be in that mode. Hallelujah. I pray that for all of us to reach that point where we're pure in heart and in mind and in spirit. I certainly want to be. Like I said, this is not going to be a long lesson, but it's going to teach you a little bit about the alap. And it's pronounced ah. Simply ah. See, alap is the root word for ah. And this is what it looks like when it's written in ancient Hebrew right here. The Lashon Kodash. You got your ah, your la, and your pa. Alap. We're going to get to these letters soon. Alap is the root word of ah, which means cattle or ox. Before the flood, they did not have a written language where they would write down the words. Everything was done verbally. So it was word of mouth. So what came first? Did the letters come first or did the words come first? You will find out in Genesis that the words came first. Out of the words, the letters, because when the Most High gave Adam dominion over everything on the earth and requested Adam to name everything on the earth, Adam looked around and the first thing he saw was cattle. And that's what he named. Allah. That's what he named it. So that's the end of our lesson today. And we'll see you next week, if Yah is willing, on the lion's den for the next letter. And we'll be able to, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and fix up where I can explain to you. I'm gonna get to everything. But I want to explain to you how we got to Yahuwah instead of Yahweh. I want to illustrate it with writing. And I will do that. I'm gonna try to do that next week, if you will. So join us again next week on the Lion's Den. I'm Elder EzekiYah of In a Nutshell. Hallelujah. See you next time. Shalom.